Hello and welcome back to Plane Reviews, episode 6. This time we're starting off with the Beakbird. Beakbird? Oh, it contains invalid parts. Interesting. The Beakbird 3 by Zaktar. And, whoa, is this, it's like a rover delivery mechanism? This is gonna be fun to figure out what the fuck this does. It looks interesting. It looks nice. I like it. It's also it was made before these new plane parts, so you know, you can see a little bit of, let's pretend that's not there. So first of all, with this plane, I'm just gonna mash the spacebar madly and see what happens. Well, that's one way to go. Now let's actually try to fly it properly. Okay, throttle full, SAS on. Engaging thrust. So it looks like you blow off the top, then you blow off the side engines, then you decouple the thing inside, then the front comes off, and then you're supposed to, I guess, be able to rove around with this. Oh, it does have a parachute. Okay, that's good, because I was gonna say if it doesn't have a parachute, then it's kind of messed up. Oh, it does have a spot for a Kerbal on board. It has an SAS system in it as well. It looks like. Also, I was kind of worried I would hit the ground on takeoff, but it seems I didn't, so that's good. Also, are these landing gear just up by default, or do they not respond? Nope, they respond to, that is genius, because they don't respond to landing gear input. I mean, they do respond to landing gear input, but they're up by default. So what happens is when you take off, when you first load it, they're down, I mean they're up, and when you put the rest of your gear up, they don't go down, they stay up, which is convenient. There's also a little, oh, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, this is a cargo bay. What is inside the cargo bay? Just some RCS and fuel. Kind of annoying that it's like that simply because, oh, I like what he's done. Okay, he's made the decoupler there go down a bit, so it still looks like it's attached even with those opened. They do clip through when they close. I always hate when things clip through in situations like that. It's always like, aww. Alright, I'm gonna throttle down, fire the first stage, which blows away the top there, fire the second stage, which blows away everything else. I'm guessing I should have throttled down more. Also, I should switch to that. Not that, that. And it doesn't have a stage for the parachute. Come on. Okay, no, I can't fire it. Oh, do I have to have control to fire that? Okay, oh, I'm time warping. No, I mean to switch vessel. Okay, there we go. Now let's take this and make sure it stays in range. Okay, it's still getting farther away. Nope, now it's getting closer. Okay, and everything's exploded. Now we'll see how well this thing glides. Not well at all. Interesting. Not well at all, however, we should be able to land it because of KSP's ridiculous physics, which are getting updated. The I was about to say astrodynamic. For some reason I have the term astrodynamic stuck in my head when I really should be saying aerodynamic. We're falling pretty fast and pretty sideways. Okay. Woo. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, the aerodynamic physics are being updated in the next version, in case you missed my video yesterday about this very topic, because I talked about it, and I spoke in one incredibly long sentence. I don't remember that line now, god damn it. I was trying to reference a line from Star Trek. It was a great line. Actually, before I move on to the next one, let's try one more time with us taking this and detaching stuff on the ground without engines going, to see if you can, like, drive it away. Okay, cutting throttle, activating brakes, spamming spacebar, ejecting Bill. Bill being confused by what's going on. Okay, now let's see if he can get over to and in this and drive it at all. I don't think he can. I think this is a terrible idea. I don't understand how you're supposed to use this plane. I don't remember there being any notes on it. If there were, I'm sorry. I can jump up into range, but I can't stay in range. That's excellent. Of course, the front has fallen over in an awkward manner. Let's move on to the next one. Next up is a VTOL. Wow, that is an interesting design right off the bat. This is by a guy who goes by The Legendary Hero. The most generic nickname ever. Yes, I'm making fun of your nicknames. If you submit a craft, I get to make fun of your nickname. Oh, I always hate when there's fuel line spam. But I do like the way he's used SAS wheels and engines here to, like, they look like little engine pods. It's actually, this probably goes pretty fast, although it is a lower altitude craft. That is interesting. I really like, it's like there's various parts of this that I'm kind of like meh, and then there's various parts that I'm like, oh, I really love this. Interesting. I really love the overall shape of it, but then there's like little details that are a little bit off here or there. Oh, this is, I want to make, this reminds me that you can use these structural struts to kind of give yourself more room to work with on the rear of your plane. And that's something I've never really done and I need to do, and it's awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and wait. Let's check action groups first, because there's probably action groups for the engines. Looks like Custom 1 toggles the VTOLs, and Custom 2 toggles the rear engines. Okay. And now I've forgotten whether I've already said it or not, but this time we're only doing 2 planes. This is the second plane. This is the only plane that I'm doing after the other one. What just... Oh yeah, there was something that was on a decoupler. The heck was that? Well, in any case, I wanted to say that this episode I'm only doing 2 planes. Does this have RCS? Not as far as I can tell. I'm only doing these 2 planes because I'm a bit strapped for time today, so yeah, there's that. Actually, let's see what happens when we try to go to 1/3. I doubt it will take off at 1/3 throttle, but it might. Let's see, how much thrust is it generating? 39. Oh, it's getting there. It's wanting to take off. It might be able to just take off at that speed. Just barely. Yeah, it can take off. Just barely, but it can. Sideways a bit. Alright, let's go ahead and increase it to 2/3 throttle. Will give us plenty of room to maneuver forwards. I just noticed there's little wing flaps down here. That's cool. Whoa. Don't want to pull up like that. See, that's the thing about VTOLs. You want to pitch forward so that you give yourself some forward momentum, because you always want to be moving forward when you're flying a VTOL. Because, well, in any plane really, you want to be flying forward so that your control surfaces work properly. And you can fly properly. Both VTOLs, it's especially evident that you need to make sure you're doing that right. I like how fast this thing can... It's very maneuverable. Of course, it's got those 2 giant SAS units. That would be why it's very maneuverable. And flies pretty well down low like this. And switch engines. That was a complete switch over. Like, I just switched instantly between both of them. And it worked pretty well. Now we're gonna throttle up to full and see how well this thing flies, which it looks like it flies pretty damn well. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Very nice. And then of course it's got the interior. It's the old Mark 1 cockpit and the old interior, but still nice. Still nice. I just noticed the way this wing shape is kind of done back here. It's very interesting. I like it. Okay, we're gonna go land this. I suppose I have to land it like a VTOL. You know, because reasons of it's a VTOL. That's the only problem with the KSP aerodynamics. Well, not the only problem, but one of the problems that's most immediately evident is how you cannot stop flying. Like, you can't... it's... See what I'm having to do to fall with a VTOL? That rhymed. A little bit. Rhymed. A little bit. Let's see if we can See if we can... This would be interesting if we could do this. I got an idea. I got an idea. A terrible idea. But I got an idea. I don't know if this idea is going to work because we're falling too fast now. But it might. I'm going to try to land on the VAB. On the little helipads up there. I think that H stands for VTOL since the majority of people land VTOLs up there, not helipads. But you know, that could just be me. Alright, let's increase the throttle just a little bit because we need to get up more. Back toward just falling in place almost. Oh, we're going backwards. That's not good. That's never good for a VTOL. Alright, let's just keep it there. Nice and steady. Look around at our surroundings. Be confused as to how we got here. What is the meaning of life, etc. Probably should throttle up just a little bit. Because we are just about to run into the thing. Yeah, because we don't quite have the thrust to get over that. Okay, now drop it. No, don't drop it that much. Because we need to go up a little more still. Oh, we're still falling too much. Okay. Now for the downside of jet engines, that they take longer to respond than they should. And also, there we go. And cut engines. And there we go. Slightly messed up that landing, but overall successful. And this is a breeze to fly. This plane is maneuverable. It flies well as a VTOL. It flies well as a normal plane. I like it. I mean, it could use some improvement in the minor details, although I think this was also made in 0.25, so the wing parts were slightly differently sized and shaped back then, so it might have looked better in 0.25. So, oh yeah, I used the Winter Owl logo on the reviewing planes things because it's appropriate, because it's like Winter Owl Aerospace, and it's, yeah, okay. I don't know, I think it's appropriate, whatever. Contracts. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in space. 5, 6, 7, 8. Also, it was made before these new plane parts, so in an awkward manner. Now I'm just wondering if there was an action group on the other plane that I missed.